Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be teaching you a very special topic. Yesterday's topic was how to let nothing bother you. Now today's topic, because that video helped a lot of people, and I'm very glad. On yesterday's video, it was kind of cool because I got a bunch of interruptions on the video, which really defined my whole day yesterday. I just had so many interruptions, and I'm just like, cool, like whatever. Like me, the person who I was a few years ago, if I had that many disruptions, I'd be like, I can't stand this. No, but now I'm just like, let's make this a part of the video. So when you're doing your choreographic or you're doing your dance routine and other people start trying to attack you, they become a part of the dance routine. You know, you just go with the flow. Like it's funny. I thought it was awesome. I had so many interruptions in the video. I mean, just you guys couldn't see off camera about how many people are trying to bop up in the video, and just like little kids just like trying to like yell and scream and make noise, and I'm just kind of moving around, just like not paying attention to it, or just literally little kids were kicking balls past me too, and I'm just like, okay, fine. I'll just go with the flow, and just whole families, and just I don't know. The video is full of distractions, but it's a good example of how to let nothing bother you. And today's topic is how to let no one bother you. Now, what's the difference between nothing and no one? So when I talk about nothing, I mean everything in general. I'm specifically talking about everything in general, but more specifically, how to not let, just like when you're in your day-to-day life and you're going throughout society, you're going throughout just little things not getting in, and you feeling just wonderful because you know you're on top of things, and anything that tries to hit you, you just kind of add it to your shield. So the arrows that are fired at you, now they're making your shield stronger because there's so many arrows, but it doesn't really matter because those arrows are just going to fall off and break anyway. You get what I mean? You just go with the flow, just be yourself, be happy, use anything that's going against you in your favor. We have that power of transmuting energy. The same thing applies to how to let no one bother you. Now, I do TikTok lives, of course, and people will try to bother me. Okay, if you ever see me when and how I react to people trying to bother me, I literally just joke it off. I look at it and like, okay. And most of the time, I will flat out not reply. I have been replying to them in the past few weeks because it does help people learn the origins of negative energy. You have to realize where people's negative energy comes from. So when someone's mean to you, it doesn't surprise you. It doesn't bother you at all. It doesn't phase you because you truly understand why that person was trying to bother you, why that person, a little secret, a little spoiler, they're bothered themselves. Just like when someone does drugs, they want someone to do drugs with them so they both go down. Same thing when someone is bothered, they want someone else to be as bothered as they are, even if they don't show it, so they're trying to take you down as well. So the past few weeks, yes, I have been replying to certain comments, but I actually, because negative comments don't bother me at all. At all. Like, there's not a comment that can bother me. If it takes me by surprise, then I just use it as ammo and be like, cool. Because occasionally I will be, will always be that one comment, so I'm just like, oh, wasn't expecting that. Most of the time, I train my eyes to see past negative comments. I'm like, oh, okay, and I realized in the past few weeks, other people have been getting really troubled by other people trying to bother me. And they're like, why don't you address it? Why do you just block it and don't say anything? I'm like, because I know the origins. But now I've been literally pulling, so when someone tries to bother you, or someone tries to bother me, I'll just literally call out the origins of them trying to bother me. So someone in the live will be like, haha, you look like you're getting old. And I'm going to give you a little secret. I've actually anti-aged in the past few years, but I'll teach that in different videos. But when someone makes a specific remark towards you, they are 100% of the time making a specific remark towards themselves. You can take whatever someone just said and you can fully 100% apply to that person. I learned this a little past high school and in college, and then it just started stacking, and the information just really started, because guys, this is a little weapon you can use to your advantage. It gets freakishly obvious when someone insults you. They literally, because we're all just mirror images of each other, just living in different bodies and just different realities. We are all literally each other. So when the second someone makes some kind of dark remark towards you, they made it about themselves. Strong people don't make weak comments. Let me say that again. Strong people don't make weak comments. If someone is so bothered, if someone's so bothered that they're trying to make someone else bothered, whatever they feel about themselves is the only ammo they have to use it against them. So if that person says, "Ha, you're ugly," and like, "Oh, look how ugly he looks," that person has been telling themselves in their head, literally whether they know it or not, that they feel ugly themselves, to the point where that's the only thing sitting in their subconscious, and that's what they'll project. If that person's, maybe they're not insulting you at all, maybe they're just angry and they're trying to get other people angry, it's because they're angry themselves. And the best way to just literally send it back is to let them be on their own. They are their own worst enemy. They tried to enter your world, you didn't let them. Now they literally have to fight themselves now. They're going back to fighting themselves. You didn't give them energy. You didn't give the entities on them energy. It's really simple. Like, just, you have to install coping mechanisms for negative energy, because these people will try to get in. If you see me getting very crackly and fiery and replying to negative comments, I'm like, oh, cool, now I get to explain to people why this person made the comment. And you can use this as well. These people who are making negative remarks, who are just being nasty and rude, they are getting hit so hard with karma, and they don't know what is hitting them. It feels like someone has cursed them. Like, whatever they're doing, like, they're just being a nasty person. They don't recognize or identify that why they're having such bad luck is because literally they're being nice to positive people, and the people's angels are really coming after them, and karma's coming after them. And most importantly, God sees everything. God does not like ugly. Like, period. You can try to disguise darkness as light, but guess what? You can't. You can't mix oil and water. I've been telling you guys this. So when someone tries to, like, and I've seen some comments too, like, people will try to sneak in so they can leave a little bit of what do I call it? Trojan warhorse into your positive energy. So what does this mean? So when you're having a great day, you let someone in, they're being positive and nice, and maybe they're asking questions, and and then they kind of sneak some shade in. It is 100% up to you. It's 100% up to you. So you have to be aware of when someone sneaks shade in, like, oh, you look great, but that shirt looks ugly. But you can do better than. I give people two chances, and then I'll fully snap. I'll just be like, like, I'll literally pull them out. I'll put them on the spot. Like, people have seen it in my life, like, oh, I love your crystals. Yeah, but you're going to hell because you're wearing crystals. And then, yeah, I'm close to God too. But yeah, your crystals are not of God. I'm like, hey, you claim you're of God. You did not read the Bible yourself. Crystals are all throughout the Bible. So yeah, just because I noticed it was really freaking people out in the lives that I was doing where I didn't reply to negative comments. I'm like, and I just block it. But how you guys can install this coping mechanism yourself, because once you truly learn how to let nothing bother you, it's kind of like a joke. It's kind of like a game. And essentially, you do feel bad, you do feel sad, but it's kind of like a reward to yourself. So anytime you do block negative energy, like, cool. Like, oh, my shield is strong. But it's easy to block. You just have to come up with coping mechanisms. You have to identify every intention. Literally, if someone's trying to bother you, and you can't tell if they're trying to bother you, you'll always get a feeling. You'll always get a feeling in your gut, or you'll just kind of like have an uneasy feeling. Just ask them on the spot, what's your intention? Like, what's your intention here? If they stutter, if they take long to answer, then they gotta go. They have to go. Period. Like, they shouldn't be trying to bother you. Like I said, you should not let anyone bother you. Anytime someone bothers you, you let them in. Like, flat out. If they really bothered you, you let them bother you. You really let them bother you. It's your responsibility. It's your accountability. Somehow, some way, it's not about fault. It's not about my fault, her fault, she fault, he fault. No, it's about becoming a person who is 100% accountable of their own emotions, of their own mental security. And anyone who does try to get in, you are accountable. So when did someone last bother me or even try to bother me? Let me think. I don't know. Even at the gym, I don't let people bother me because sometimes, people will try to walk up. Maybe you guys see this too. People will try to walk up to you and try to get your attention just so they can give you a mean face and walk away. Do you know why they do that? Because they do that at the gym. I literally just look up. I look towards the firmament. I look towards the heavens. I look towards where I'm heading. And I just completely ignore it because they're looking for energy. They feel so hurt themselves that even if they don't talk to someone that day, they're going to make a mean look just to try to farm energy. They want you to feel upset. They want you to feel where they're at so they're not alone. You're accountable for that. Like some people, and that's one of the things too, because people will try to get under your skin in just some of the most unique, bizarre ways. But when you install mechanisms to really identify and understand what that is, no one's gonna bother you. There's crystals that really help. The crystal itself, I've been teaching about this. The crystal itself does not let people bother you. It's the crystal working on your mind to increase the strength of your mind and increase your clarity and increase your understanding and increase your spiritual and etheric strengths, increase your energy field to really block out dark energies. And because when something gets in your mind, the body's nothing without a head. If someone really gets in your mind and they're there for a day, 2 days, 3 days, and they really bother you, that's you. That is 100% you. And I'm here to tell you that. I'm not here to tell you that to be mean, but it's you. Now that you identify that, because some people will have a victim mentality. Yeah, everyone's bothering me. Everyone's getting in it from. Everyone's trying to. You let that in. I'm going to be the first person and YouTuber to tell you that. You let it in. It's you who let them bother you. It's you. I'm going to focus on that for a second. It is you. If you let someone bother you, you let them. Now, I'm not putting you guys down when I say, oh, it's you. You're like, oh, how dare he says it's you. Yes, it starts with us. Like I said, I'm emphasizing this point on accountability because now you understand when someone has bothered you, you address what about what they said got in. How did it get in? How did it bother you? Why did you let it bother you? If you know it's not true, if you know, because I've had someone in live in the past week say, you look like you're getting fat. And I'm like, oh, cool. I've actually lost more weight than I have in my entire life because I'm unable to eat certain foods now, like chicken. So I'm actually dropping pounds to the point where I have to get new clothes. And I'm like, this person's really hurting. I just kind of... let me teach you something. When someone bullies you on social media, you can just report them. They'll get banned. They'll get in trouble. Whatever. In real life, you can report them as well. You report them to God. So like, okay, God, I'm doing right. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. This didn't bother me. They really, really tried to get in. I feel bad for them. Please send them some kind of karma their way so that they don't do this to anyone else who's less susceptible to negative energy. So there are some of you who don't let anything bother you already. Occasionally, there's some of you who you really do. It took me a long time to not let anything bother me or anyone bother me, but it really, once you truly understand, it's just you. It's just you. And if it does bother you, acknowledge it, write it down, be like, write down what your beliefs are. Like, why do you believe this bothered you? Where did it, if you really just tackle it at a subconscious level, it's not going to bother you again. It truly won't. I live in South Florida, and people can be really, really nasty and really aggressive sometimes. You know how I not let it bother me? I don't pay attention to it. I don't give it energy. These people are without light and without energy. And yeah, there's a lot of nice people in South Florida, but South Florida compared to the rest of the U.S., if you say, hi, how are you, in public to someone in some northern parts of, like, let's just say Boston, they'll be like, hey, how are you? You're like, how's your day going? If you say, hi, how are you to someone in Florida, they're like, what do you want? And if you're just like, oh, that really hurt me, that really bothered me, like, why was he mean to me? Like, why was, I don't understand, like, I didn't do anything, like, I was just being nice, and this person just bothered me, and like, I don't know if I asked it the wrong way. Okay, first signs that you let it in. understand your light shines bright, it's going to shine bright upon people who are in the dark, and that's going to blind them. And it's going to bother them, so they're going to try and bother you. I hope that makes sense. In this video, I'm saying on a few key topics because the information does not change. It is the same information. Don't let them in. Identify it, like, you guys gotta get into a habit of writing things down. If you don't write things down, how can you fix them? You're gonna hold it all in your head. No, write it down. Humble yourself and write things down. If you feel like something bothered you, write it down. Write it down. And just, you can, what do we call it? Fold it up in a piece of paper. And then just forget about it. I wouldn't rip it up or cross it out. Just because, remember what bothered you? Just tuck it away. Be like, okay. I remember that this bothered me, so I didn't let it bother me again because I really worked on my mind, and etc. So, I mean, like I said, there will be Trojan war horses. There will be people who try to sneak in and try to get into your mind and really try to, like, just, because I've seen sneak shade. If you ever see me catch sneak shade in my life, I really, I don't try to get scary on the person. I really just try to teach other people, like, hey guys, look, this is it. So people will be like, and then say a really dark remark and then be nice again. I let it go 2 times. 1 time is what I suggest for you guys. I let it go 2 times just to really, really call it out. When you call it out, make sure your intention is not that of you're trying to have drama or you're trying to start problems. No, you're just trying to really call out darkness and identify what it is and send it away so it doesn't come back. Yeah, just be clear about your intention. You guys, how to let nothing, no one, or anything at all bother you? You create mental shields. You really protect your mind. The crystals do help because they establish energetic boundaries around us and they help our angels be armed. But it's up to you to keep it out. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little technique sometimes. If you guys have a habit of getting bothered, wait about an hour before you open your phone. Do your prayers before you open your phone. Do everything else before you open your phone. And do not check your phone right away when you wake up. It's not a good idea because our subconscious is like kind of the softest yet the strongest at that time. I would pick some time to do some manifestations, just literally affirmations in your mind. Talk about your beliefs. Just really set your goals in the morning. You jump straight to your phone, you're going to be sensitive. You're going to be squishy. You're going to be a snail without a shell. That's one way to not let people bother you, because once someone gets in, then everyone gets in. That's how entities do it. Once an entity gets in, they hold the door open for all the other entities to get in. I really hope this video has helped you guys, because, I mean, like I said, I am just a human, so every now then and again, something will kind of surprise me, not fully bother me, but I'll just use it to my advantage. So if you're someone who doesn't get bothered, or when you teach yourself how to not get bothered by anything, and something does accidentally bother you, or accidentally get in, identify it and recognize it, and just kind of add it as a tool to your arsenal, like, hey, this was kind of new. This bothered me in a different way than anything else has really bothered me. Let me just make this my weapon. How cool is that? You just kind of like, you're adding to your shield, kind of like the immune system when you get exposed to viruses and or just any kind of sicknesses in general, and your body gets used to them, so that it sees it, identifies it, like, hey, we know this whatever pathogen, and then your body, it recognizes the virus, it recognizes the cold, and like, okay, we fight it off. But then there's a new one, it kind of gets you a little bit sick, and you're like, hey, I'm a little off here. But then you take your vitamin C, your vitamin C is basically identifying it and confronting it. And then when it comes back again, it's not going to surprise you because you recognize it. You know exactly what it is. I really hope this video has helped you guys. I love making these videos. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!